Sounding the alarm after conducting a study that predicts the prevalence of diabetes in American youth.
The results reveal a staggering increase in the number of type 1 and type 2 diabetes in
Heart, over to the pancreas now. Hippocrates, the father of medicine, 400 years BC, no mention of diabetes in his writings. So diabetes is a fairly modern disease. Diabetes is a lifestyle disease. Newton's third law of motion states that to every action there's an equal and an opposite reaction. Why isn't the pancreas working? That's what we should be asking.
About 537 million adults aged 20 to 79 are currently living with diabetes. That's roughly 1 in 10. This number is expected to jump to 643 million by 2030 and hit 783 million by 2045. A significant majority, over 75%, of those with diabetes are in low and middle income countries.
As Proverbs 26 verse 2 states, the curse causeless shall not come. There is a reason. There is a reason why pancreases are not working. Now the pancreas's, one of its main roles is to release two hormones. One is insulin, that gets the blood sugar down. The other hormone is glucagon, and that gets the blood sugar level up. Now the meal that you had tonight, because it's high in fibre, I think everything had fibre, generous proteins, there's your legumes and some great fats, it gives a slow, sure, steady release of glucose, of nutrients. And that allows the pancreas to just release the insulin as it's needed. That's what every cell in the body wants, and that's what our pancreas wants.
The pancreas plays a crucial role in regulating blood sugar levels by releasing two key hormones, insulin and glucagon. Insulin is released when blood sugar levels are high, like after a meal. Its main job is to lower blood sugar by helping glucose enter cells for energy or storing it as glycogen in the liver and muscles. This keeps blood sugar stable and prevents it from getting too high. On the other hand, glucagon is released when blood sugar drops too low. Its primary role is to raise blood sugar by converting glycogen back into glucose in the liver, which then enters the bloodstream. This process helps prevent low blood sugar and ensures the body has enough energy, especially between meals. These two hormones work together in a feedback loop to maintain balanced blood glucose levels. When insulin lowers blood sugar, glucagon kicks in to raise it when needed. This balance is essential for overall metabolic health and energy regulation. When the pancreas isn't functioning properly, like in diabetes, the regulation of these hormones can be affected. In type 1 diabetes, the body can't produce enough insulin due to the autoimmune destruction of insulin-producing cells. In type 2 diabetes, the body may produce insulin but not use it effectively, leading to high blood sugar levels.
So your baseline is 55. So all your berries sit at about 26. Grapefruit, it sits at 25. So for the diabetic, these are good fruits because they're low GI. They're a lovely, slower delivery of fuel. Whereas bananas, they sit up here somewhere. So where does sugar sit? Sugar sits at 59. Where does white bread, white pasta, white cereal, it sits at 69 because of the amylopectin starch in it. What about whole wheat? Whole wheat bread, whole wheat cereal, it sits at 72. How could that be? Well, because the whole wheat isn't refined, it's got more amylopectin A in it. And it's the amylopectin A that gets the blood sugar level up. Now, absolutely, whole wheat bread is superior to white because it's got fibre, it's got your B vitamins. But in regard to the diabetic who's watching their blood glucose levels, they need to eliminate wheat. Totally.
According to Barbara, meals high in fiber, protein from legumes, and healthy fats lead to a slow, steady release of glucose, allowing the pancreas to release insulin as needed. This balance is essential for maintaining stable blood sugar levels. However, many people consume a high-carb diet that results in a rapid influx of glucose, particularly from refined sugars and grains. Notably, wheat can elevate blood sugar levels even more than refined sugar. In the 1950s, wheat underwent extensive crossbreeding to increase yields, aiming to address hunger crises in various regions. This hybridized wheat produces significantly more grain and alters its starch structure, which can negatively affect blood sugar regulation. The starch known as amylopectin A can cause spikes in blood sugar higher and faster than sugar itself. In contrast, other starches like amylopectin B, found in bananas and potatoes, result in a more gradual rise. Beans and legumes contribute to a steady increase and decrease in blood sugar, which supports energy regulation. The glycemic index, GI, measures how quickly glucose from foods enters the bloodstream, making it a crucial tool for diabetics. Foods like berries and grapefruit have low GI scores, while sugar, white bread, and even whole wheat products tend to have higher scores, indicating a quicker release of glucose. Many individuals are unaware of how wheat impacts blood sugar levels, complicating dietary choices. This issue is significant, given that wheat is a major crop and part of a large industry. To manage diabetes effectively, focusing on low glycemic index foods and eliminating wheat from the diet is advisable.
Diabetes, go for the low glycemic index foods. It's not easy. It's easy. I meant to say it's not hard to get a glycemic index. You can Google that. It's a matter of having berries for breakfast instead of banana. It's as simple as having sweet potato instead of potato. Having your whole grains, eliminating the wheat. Low GI foods.
A low glycemic index, low GI diet, is an eating plan focused on how foods affect blood sugar levels. The glycemic index ranks foods on a scale from 0 to 100, with low GI foods having a minimal effect on blood sugar. The main purpose of a low GI diet is to choose foods that are less likely to raise blood sugar levels. People might follow this diet to lose or maintain weight, plan healthier meals, manage diabetes, or reduce the risk of diabetes and heart disease. Low GI foods include green vegetables, most fruits, and raw carrots. Medium GI foods include sweet corn, bananas, and multigrain bread. High GI foods, which are generally avoided, include white rice, white bread, and potatoes. Studies have shown that low GI diets can be helpful for weight loss, lowering blood pressure and cholesterol levels, and improving diabetes management. However, the overall nutritional quality of food may be more important than the GI value alone. Following a low GI diet can support healthy weight management and diabetes control. It can also serve as one tool among many for making healthier food choices, emphasizing the importance of a varied diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins.
Daily legumes. I met a man, he was a scientist, he was 69. He came to our retreat. He said, when I was 42, I was told I had pre-diabetes and to eat legumes every day. He said, I eat legumes every day and I never got diabetes. Because the beans give that lovely, sure, steady delivery of fuel. But how do we stop them causing bloating or wind? You soak them overnight. And then you rinse them very well, and then you bring them to the boil. Have you seen all the froth that comes on? You know what that is? Wind. You got to rinse it away. What I do is when my beans are 3/4 cooked, I rinse them again. And then I put my beans into a delicious sauce. And then you will not have that problem. They'll be a lot easier to digest. When I first married my husband 24 years ago, he could handle lima beans, he could handle red lentils, he could not handle brown lentils, and he could not handle kidney beans. So what I did is at the meal I'd give him a teaspoon. That didn't cause a problem. A few days later, 2 teaspoons. Within a couple of weeks, 3 teaspoons. He can now handle them all. So sometimes if there are some you can't handle and they're even well soaked and rinsed, just start slowly and introduce yourself to them. As we looked at when we looked at the liver, the legumes are only 1/3 the carbohydrate that you will find in your grains. Number 3.
According to Barbara O'Neill, incorporating legumes into the daily diet can be beneficial. She shared an example of a 69-year-old scientist who, after being advised to eat legumes daily at age 42, successfully avoided diabetes. Legumes provide a steady source of energy, but some people may experience bloating. It's recommended to soak legumes overnight and rinse them thoroughly before cooking. When boiling, it's important to discard the froth that appears, as it contains substances that can lead to gas. Rinsing the beans again when they are nearly cooked can also help. To make legumes easier to digest, pairing them with a flavorful sauce can be effective. Barbara mentioned her husband, who initially struggled with certain types of beans. By starting with small amounts and gradually increasing the portion, he became able to enjoy all kinds of legumes. Legumes, which include beans, lentils, peas, and peanuts, offer numerous benefits for individuals with diabetes. They have a low glycemic index, GI, typically ranging from 10 to 40, meaning they do not cause rapid spikes in blood sugar levels after consumption. The low GI of legumes is attributed to their high fiber and protein content, which slows down the digestion and absorption of carbohydrates. Legumes are an excellent source of dietary fiber, with 1 cup providing around 12 to 16 grams. The fiber in legumes helps slow down the absorption of carbohydrates, leading to more gradual increases in blood sugar levels. Additionally, fiber promotes feelings of fullness, aiding in weight management and reducing the risk of overeating. As a plant-based source of protein, legumes are a valuable addition to a diabetes-friendly diet. Protein helps with blood sugar control by slowing down carbohydrate absorption and contributing to feelings of fullness. This combination can be particularly beneficial for managing hunger and overall calorie intake. Studies have shown that incorporating legumes into the diet can lead to significant improvements in glycemic control in individuals with type 2 diabetes. One study found that a diet emphasizing legume consumption resulted in a 0.5% reduction in HbA1c, a measure of long-term blood sugar control, compared to a diet high in wheat fiber. Regularly consuming legumes may help lower the risk of diabetes-related complications, such as heart disease and high blood pressure. The fiber, protein, and low GI of legumes contribute to their cardioprotective effects, making them an important part of a balanced diet for those with diabetes. Legumes are versatile ingredients that can be incorporated into various dishes, such as soups, stews, salads, and dips. They are also an affordable source of nutrients, making them accessible to people with diabetes. To incorporate more legumes into your diet, consider adding them to soups and salads, using them as a base for vegetable burgers, or enjoying hummus made from chickpeas as a snack.
There are some things that must stop. What must stop is wheat. What must stop is refined sugar. Now, if someone's looking at conquering diabetes, initially they also need to eliminate all your healthy sugars, like your palm sugar, your maple syrup and honey. So they need to be stopped until the pancreas is starting to recover. And it can recover. One young man named Dan did our program. He was type 1 diabetes. He got diabetes after a strong course of antibiotics at the age of 15. He's now 19. He said, my specialist said my pancreas is dead. I said, is it gangrene? What's dead? I said, if there is blood going through your pancreas, it's not dead. The life of the flesh is in the blood. So he began to do this. Another thing is no wheat, no caffeine, and no refined sugar and no caffeine. Caffeine can actually get an insulin response, so that has to be stopped. When he came to our retreat, he ate only low glycemic foods. He had legumes every day.
Number 3 focuses on the elimination of certain foods to manage diabetes effectively. It's crucial to stop consuming wheat, caffeine, and refined sugars. For those trying to conquer diabetes, it's also important to eliminate healthier sugars like palm sugar, maple syrup, and honey until the pancreas begins to recover. So why should people with diabetes avoid these foods? Refined carbohydrates and added sugars are significant concerns. White bread, pasta, and rice are high in refined carbs that can quickly spike blood sugar levels, while sweets, desserts, and sugary beverages provide empty calories and can dramatically raise blood sugar. Choosing whole grain options and limiting added sugars is essential. Saturated and trans fats also pose risks. Fried foods, fatty meats, and high-fat dairy products contain saturated fats that can increase LDL cholesterol levels, raising the risk of heart disease for those with diabetes. Processed snacks and baked goods often include unhealthy trans fats, which further impact heart health. Sodium intake is another factor to consider. Foods like canned soups, processed meats, and salty snacks can worsen complications such as high blood pressure. Reducing sodium is particularly important for individuals with both diabetes and hypertension. Alcohol consumption should be approached cautiously. Beer, wine, and liquor can interact with diabetes medications and lead to low blood sugar. If consumed, it should be done in moderation, particularly if blood sugar levels are well controlled. The focus should be on nutrient-dense whole foods like vegetables, fruits, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats. Limiting refined carbs, added sugars, unhealthy fats, and sodium is crucial for effective diabetes management and reducing the risk of complications. Portion control and working with a healthcare team to create a personalized eating plan are also important.
He started to drink more water. Hydration. And what he found was if he felt that he was getting a blood sugar level low between meals, he'd have a little bit of the salt and a glass of water and it would maintain him. I do not advise diabetics eat every 2 hours because that really disrupts digestion. When we looked at the journey through the gut, did you notice that digestion averages 3.5 to 4 hours? So you've got to leave that break between meals.
According to Barbara, increasing water intake can help with hydration. If blood sugar levels drop between meals, consuming a small amount of salt with water may assist in eating every 2 hours for diabetics, as it can disrupt the digestive process. Digestion typically takes about 3.5 to 4 hours. So allowing a break between meals is essential. Barbara's assertion about the benefits of high-fiber foods for individuals with diabetes is well supported by research. High-fiber foods, especially those rich in soluble fiber, slow digestion and glucose absorption, leading to gradual increases in blood sugar levels. A systematic review highlights that soluble dietary fiber forms a gel in the gut, slowing gastric emptying and enhancing insulin sensitivity, which is beneficial for type 2 diabetes. Increasing dietary fiber intake has been shown to improve glycemic control in people with diabetes. Reviews of randomized controlled trials indicate that higher dietary fiber intake significantly reduces fasting blood glucose and HbA1c levels, a marker for long-term blood sugar control. For example, consuming about 50 grams of fiber daily has been associated with better glucose management. Legumes are especially advantageous due to their high fiber and protein content, while being low in carbohydrates. Research found that regular legume consumption correlates with significant improvements in fasting blood glucose and HbA1c levels, as the soluble fiber helps lower peak blood glucose levels. Barbara emphasizes the importance of healthy fats and proteins, which help regulate blood sugar levels by providing sustained energy. Healthy fats promote satiety, aiding in calorie management, which is crucial for diabetes control. Barbara advises against harmful fats found in deep-fried foods and margarine. Trans and saturated fats are linked to increased inflammation and insulin resistance, making them harmful for diabetes management. Substantial evidence supports Barbara's claims about high-fiber foods, legumes, healthy fats, and proteins in managing diabetes. These dietary choices contribute to better glycemic control and overall metabolic health, helping prevent harmful blood sugar spikes.
So, what Dan did is he began to exercise, and the exercise he implemented was the high-intensity interval training. So he'd put his joggers on every morning and he would run up and down the hills. Now he was with us for 4 weeks. He did 2 weeks program and 2 weeks in the garden.
HIIT, or high-intensity interval training, is exactly what it sounds like. Intense. It takes your cardio workouts up a notch by pushing you out of your comfort zone. You can mix HIIT with any cardio, whether that's running, using a stair climber, rowing, or jumping rope. You'll break a sweat fast by alternating between short bursts of high intensity and slower recovery periods. This method saves you time because you don't need to work out as long as you would with a steady pace. With HIIT, you can shed pounds, build muscle, and kick your metabolism into gear. Plus, you keep burning calories for about 2 hours after you finish. Intensity-wise, you'll be working harder than with regular cardio, doing short bursts that last from 30 seconds to 3 minutes, followed by similar recovery times. Here's what you should know about HIIT. It doesn't specifically focus on your core, arms, legs, glutes, or back, but cardio exercises like running can help strengthen those areas. While it's not designed for flexibility, it's an excellent aerobic workout, and you can throw in some weightlifting for added strength. The best part, it's free. Beginners can start with just 3 to 4 intervals and gradually increase as they get fitter. You can do HIIT outdoors or at home, whether you're running, biking, or even chasing your dog. No special equipment is needed unless you're using machines or weights. Physical therapist Ross Breakville notes that HIIT is a fantastic way to shake up your routine and get those feel-good endorphins flowing. However, it's not for everyone. You need good motivation and stamina, as it can strain muscles and joints if you're not used to it. If you have health issues like diabetes or heart disease, HIIT can help, but check with your doctor first. Start slow with a few intervals. Those with joint problems should be cautious, and if you're pregnant and did HIIT before, it might be safe in the first trimester, but always consult your doctor. In later trimesters, your belly might limit your movements, so get your doc's approval before trying high-impact training and stay hydrated. That's all for today. If you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for the latest updates and hit the bell icon so you never miss a new video. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.